Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, president of Padma Life Coaching and your host here on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I'm not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, I release a new video that has 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to those 2 questions, which I answer, I talk about various other life renewal topics. So let's get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Gemma, who is in Sydney, Australia. Hello, Gemma. All right, Gemma's question is, even when I have money in the bank, I'm terrified it will disappear. How do I heal this poverty consciousness I inherited from my parents? Excellent question. And of course, there's many ways that you can approach this. One of the things that you can do is look at what reality is. How many times have you had the money disappear as an adult who is responsible for your own money? Has that occurred? Has your worst fear ever happened? That's one thing that you can do. The other thing that I recommend is I do recommend getting an astrology reading. It does not have to be from me. It can be from another qualified astrologer because you need to look at, in your chart, there's areas related to money and how you work with money. So an astrologer can help you with that. The other thing is doing meditations. You can bring the younger you to a place in your mind. It could be a beach or a desert. It could be someplace beautiful. Usually, well, my thing is go to someplace beautiful when you're going to be using your imagination. But think about when you first recognize that you had this issue. You want to bring that person to you and talk about in your mind's eye the issue. And you know where it originated, but you might be able to see energetic cords attached to you from your parents as far as the money consciousness. I'm not saying cut the cords with your parents. I'm saying you look at that cord and you ask the divine or whomever you pray to, or as a matter of fact, it's a good idea to take someone with you on this meditation, someone you trust and believe in who's on the other side. And it would be an angel, archangel, one of the Buddhas, one of the goddesses, whomever it is. You want to take them with you on this meditation and ask them to help you purify this energetic cord that you have between your parents and you related to money, because you want to shift that energy within you, and you can certainly do it. Now, you don't have to do it that way. As I said, there's other ways to do it, but you've got to get to the root cause, and that's where you work on the issue and find out what your fear is, what's underneath the fear. And that's where you go to ask it to be released. It's interesting too, because with the mind, you're talking about something that is going on in your subconscious mind. We have our conscious mind, and you might have this fear in your conscious mind, but there's something else in the subconscious mind which needs to be addressed, because that's where the root cause is stored. That's why I'm recommending that you do a meditation to bring that younger you to you so that you can have a conversation and see if you can clear out what is going on there. In addition to that, I do recommend going to see an astrologer to get more insight into it. Some people try hypnosis too. I don't know if it works, but it's certainly an option, something you might be able to look at, or even acupuncture. Check that out too. But my recommendation is to do the meditation first. Write me and let me know what happened after you've done the meditation. Or, comment below if you'd like to also. All right. Thank you for that question. Let's move on to the life renewal topic for today. And the life renewal topic is the currency of energy, aligning your wealth with your worth. Some people define it based on what's in their bank account. Others define it by family or health or friendship, being able to do what you want. All of this is wealth. And all of it comes from the divine. So there's plenty of abundance out here. The issue is a lot of people just don't see that abundance in their lives. What they see is a lack. A lot of humans tie their self-worth to how much money they have. Think about hundreds of years ago. What did people value? What was it? Was it wheat? Was it the cow? Was it a bead? What did people value? The Knights Templar was the first bankers. That's a whole nother story. But my point is, how do you define worth? What is not necessarily tangible, but is it your belief system, your value system, where you get your worth, how you treat other people? Money is important to be able to pay the bills and enjoy life if you going on vacation and that sort of thing. And putting a roof over your head, yes, that is important. However, is that how you define your worth? And you really need to think about that and contemplate it. What happens if the money isn't there? How do you define your wealth? Define your wealth there, or your worth. In my estimation, worth has to do with how you treat other people. It has to do with your values. It has to do with how you feel inside, not the bank account. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say about that. Let's move on to the last question for this episode for this week. All right. Our last question comes from Silas, who is in Nashville, Tennessee. So Silas writes, I want to transition to a purpose-driven career, but I'm scared of the pay cut. How do I trust the universe will provide while I pursue my calling? Good question. You don't. And herein lies the rub. When you first start out learning to trust the universe, is usually because you don't trust the universe. And in order to get that trust, to build that trust, you are placed in situations where you either panic and make decisions based on fear, or you give it over to the divine and you start to trust the divine. This is not something that happens overnight. It's something that can take years. Now, with a career or anything for that matter, there is a process that you will go through to build that trust, for the trust in the divine, trust in the universe, trust that you are taken care of. Because, by the way, you are taken care of. It's just a matter of if you believe you are taken care of. You have to take a leap of faith. I can remember testing the universe, or the goddess, as a matter of fact, many years ago. And by the way, I don't recommend doing it. I did, but I don't recommend it. But I'm so stubborn. I'll tell you that story another time. The point is, what career do you want? And how much money do you need to take care of yourself? The amount isn't important at all because the universe is abundant. So what you want to do, write out what you want, say what kind of job you want, say it out loud, write it, have it in your mind's eye, and hold it. And see not necessarily what opportunities come to you, but what manifests. Maybe you'll meet somebody who can direct you or who can help you get what it is you want. Maybe you will read an article that will help you get what you want. The point is, once you ask the universe for what it is you want, then you will get messages from the universe directing you to what you need to do. And you need to take action when you get those directions, because sometimes you get directions and you've got to act now. Or sometimes it's next week when you need to act. But the point is, ask and take action when you get these messages. And the messages can come in any form. The other thing is doing something to mitigate the fear, because the fear is there. It's palpable a lot of times, that fear. And fear dissipates over time with this, but it's not something that goes away right away. It takes a while. Ask for what it is you want. Take action when you see something that feels like a sign. Like I said, it could be an article, could be anything. See where it goes. The other thing is timing. Timing is so important with this. You can want something and the universe plans on giving it to you, but maybe not right away. It could be a year from now or 2 years from now. Maybe there are lessons you need to learn. Maybe there's people you need to encounter. Maybe there's training you need to get. Could be anything. The thing is to not give up, to hold on to the dream, whatever the dream is, and allow the universe to operate in your life. So please comment below and let me know how you're getting on and how the process is going for you. Thank you for sending this question in. It's a good question. We have come to the end of this particular episode of Ask Coach Marie. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I do appreciate it. Send your questions to me. Send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. Once again, that's padmacoach@icloud.com. I have a 5-day free downloadable e-course for you. You can find it on my website, which is padmalifecoaching.com. Every day for 5 days, you will receive an email from me with information, teaching, plus prompts for you to help yourself, so that you can hopefully jumpstart your life. So go to the website and download the free e-course. Remember, I don't share your email address with anybody. So once you give me your email address, you will get my newsletter, but I don't like getting spam. So I don't do it to others. Anyway, if you would like to learn more about me, you can read my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. I have it right back here too, if you can see that. It talks about my life, basically, the traumas and how I work through a lot of the traumas that I experienced. The methods that I used are clearly outlined in there. So check it out. You can find the book anywhere online books are sold, or you can go to the book website, which is andthelotusopened.com, and read about the book, and you can click on the Amazon or Barnes & Noble link to be taken to the book. Send your questions again to padmacoach@icloud.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That does help get these videos out there. Also, I will be giving a talk in September at the United Astrological Conference in Chicago. This is the largest astrological conference in the country and maybe in the world. It only happens about every 5 years. I believe the last time was 2018, where astrologers come from all over the world to give talks, to commiserate with each other, to be together. We'll be in Chicago at Marriott, on the Magnificent Mile, and it is beautiful there. So if you are in Chicago or you want to travel to Chicago, go to the UAC website and sign up. And I said that the last one was in 2018. And of course, 5 years after that, we weren't able to do the conference because we were dealing with COVID. Like I said, thank you for spending your time with me. I do appreciate it. And, send me your questions. I send you lots of blessings, and I will see you back here next week. Bye-bye.